This conference will now be recorded.
3. Abhinav said 3. Okay. Let's see, 4. Okay. 3. Only 3 and 4, nothing else. What about 1 and 2? Oh, 1, Naidu. Okay. You got for the first one. Okay. And we left with 2. If you are someone who has 2, you can put it out there. Okay, so I'll go with the answer. So the answer is 4. So you the thing is, when you see the 1, 2, 3, and 4 different hands out there, you can just see that the 1, 2, 3 are all right hands. Okay, those are all like right hand. So when you see those all 1, 2, 3 pictures are all right. But when you go for the fourth picture, it's left hand. Okay, see, I mean, you just notice the thumb there. So the answer is 4. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Again, Hamid Hussain is a winner for the question for the second one as well. All right, good going, Hamid. Yeah, let's see for the next one. So it's going to be really, really tricky. So as we are moving from easy to hard, just like that. So for the next one, it's going to be a little hard. Okay, be on it. So keep, the one who answers the first, so it's going to be the winner for the question. Okay, yeah. So you have to figure out what is the mistake they have in common. What is the mistake? You're going to say like, what is that? Hair or neck, shirts or whatever, like chin, cheeks, whatever it is. What is the mistake they have in common? They're upside down? No, that's not the answer. There is a mistake common with them. Abhiram, okay, who answered the first? Okay, let's see coming up. So one says lips and one says lips. Okay, one says eyes. Okay, lips and okay, lips and eyes and lips. So all right, so I'll go with Enya. Okay, Enya. So the answer we go with lips. But the thing is, the answer didn't come yet. I'm still waiting for the answer. Okay. Nose, eyebrows. Oh, seems you're gonna say for the next time. Okay, hair and eyebrows and everywhere. Okay, so I'll go with the answer. I see. I'll just show you the answer now. So that is this. So when you reverse the picture, what you can find is the eyes are inverted and the lips are also inverted. Okay, the eyes and lips. So people who said eyes and lips are the winners for now. So let me see who are there. They're upside down. That's not, lips are reversed. Abhiram said 1 and lips, eyes. Okay, Abhiram. Yeah, okay. So Abhiram is the winner for this question. I know it seems very terrible. The eyes and lips are so reversed, but our brain doesn't look much into the pictures when we into that when we are in the reverse position. Okay, so it's gonna be really, really kind of logical. So how many holes does this t-shirt has? 8. 8. What is 8? Why not 6? Yeah, 6. Why not 2? Why not 4? Yeah, go ahead. So we're getting a lot of answers. Okay. Most of you are really giving a good try. But for the next time as well, 10. Oh, no. 10 is not the right answer. But the answer is 8. Hamid Hussain, he's coming for the third time. Okay. He's winning for the same question. So you can just see that the one is here and the other is here, third, fourth, 5, 6. 6, you can see the 6, but when you see from the back side, you have other 2 more holes, 2 more things which are behind the things, right? So not 10, not 4, not 6, it's 8. Okay, I think we are done with one more question. Okay, so it's okay. Let's see who answers it. What is the mistake here? Well, can you spot it? What was the mistake? Yeah, I mean the same thing. So just spot the mistake. Okay. Okay. You guys are really, really high. I know. Yeah. It's all done. Yeah. So we have first Hamid who explained it again. Hamid is leading now like hell. So can you spot the mistake? You got to see that the spot is repeated. Okay, the spot and the spot. It's not the colors. It's not the numbers we look into. But the mistake we can spot here is a spot repeated for 2 times. Okay. So Hamid is still leading. Okay, let's go with the last one, I guess. Yeah. Okay. See who is going to do this. What do you get if you multiply all its numbers? Okay. You're super quick now. Yeah, perfectly. The answer is 0. Okay, let me explain why. I don't really need to explain this, but you can see the 0 here. But if you start multiplying from the top, but at the end you multiply with 0, everything becomes 0. So, yep. So I really congratulate Hamid for being at the top, like really answering a lot of questions and everyone being participated. Kind of fun. So this is how we usually start the sessions. But this time, this may be easy for you. But for the next coming webinars, I'm pretty sure I'm going to give you really, really hard questions coming up. Okay, these are really simple. So I'll do it. I'll do it for the next time. Let me win for the next time. Okay, right. So the whole intention of today's session, why do we really need to do this all and these all the things is quiz part is all just waiting for the people and also having some fun with you. It's been a little longer. You also have a smile a little longer back. So yeah, the main intention of this particular session, why we are being here, is specifically the design stuff. So when we rolled up the poster where we are talking about UI designing, UX, and all stuff. So what really matters, the design stuff. So usually I see people when I talk about the design stuff, they go up the back and they just say that design, you're going to use the Photoshop, you're going to use like Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, or any other tools to make some effects and make some changes, or just like that. But the kind of similar thing what we're going to do, but not with that tools, and also the purpose is different. So might be the purpose of those tools is for editing and making some kind of creations, I mean the creative creations that you could do with the tools. But now we're going to focus specifically into the development cycle. Okay, so when we say these specific things called the development cycle, we go with some products. Okay, so when I say something like you come up with an idea, right? You have a pretty good thoughts on you and you just wanted to build something with your own. Okay, first suppose you just want to build another social media network, right? You just want to build another really good thing that be like Instagram, that looks like Facebook and that acts like Snapchat. Mixing up all the traits of different social media things and making it together, you get another thing, right? So you have this idea, like you take some features from different social networks, social media platforms, you take them, you grab them, and you make yours own, right? So when we try to do that, so the first step, what we try to do to move ahead and make it is to start designing it. Okay, so when we start designing it, we get to understand what are the things needed to be done to move ahead further. Okay, so that is all about the session today. So what we're going to do is the creating the prototypes. So the prototypes is nothing but they are a mimicking version of the actual product. Okay, so they are not real. I don't mean they are virtual, but they are not absolutely, the functionality is not real, but you can see the functionality what the actual thing could work as same. So it's called we mimic it. So that is why we're going to say that's a prototype. And we're going to see today we are totally going to build an Instagram clone. So how does the Instagram look alike? Maybe you are like pro users of the Instagram for the entire quarantine. And what we're going to do is completely building from the scratch, not the, so as I mentioned earlier, the prototyping and the designing process, we are not going to build the entire social media network like a pro and you can deploy it, you can have the friends in it, not like that. But what we're going to do is design it. We're going to create the prototype, which almost same like Instagram clone. We say that clone, right? So that's what we're going to do for the day. And over to you, Akash. So Akash will be leading you, will be walking you through what are the tools that you're using and what are the way that you can make it and what are the process of the development cycle and how you make this design stuff move ahead to the development and how you make kind of all the process of designing and make the things clear. Okay, so if you have any things, put up in the chat window and feel free to unmute yourself and then raise some questions, and all of that we are totally open. So now over to you, Akash. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Deja. Let me share my screen first. Okay. So
Akash,
today we
you're
just
not so audible. So you're not
okay.
audible.
Yeah, right. Now
Yeah,
is it all?
perfect,
Am I
perfect.
audible? Yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay, guys. Today we are just going to see about the UI design. I think Teja has told everything about design, but still, I just want to give some interest. Uh, it's not moving up. Yeah. So what is an UI? So anyone? Can you guys say just a small know, explanation about UI? Just put up in the chat box. Just single word, like even in single word, you can explain it. See, hey, I'm not asking for just explain it now. Okay, yeah. So UI is something like we just interact with the real-time application. So it's a graphical representation of the software which we create. Yeah, yes or no? It's that. So when why we are going for a UI? Why just we straight away go for development? So have you ever worked on any project like anything, any app development or web development project? Anyone? So if you have worked on any of these, you might have come across, you might have got stuck in middle where just yeah. Okay. So yeah. So you might have stuck in stuck in a way where you just don't even know where to go next. Right. So in that case, UI is most important thing. Like design is more important thing. So let me go to the design. Yeah, why we need design. Sorry. So um, design is something that you're making a plan before you're building on project or product, whatever it is. And if there's no proper plan, you can't just decide what to do next, right? So just imagine like you're going for some tour or any places without any proper plan. You can't just straight away go like and come back, right? For if what to say, you can't just for example, you can't go to the beach at the like at mid at 12 o'clock. If you go at evening, you can see some sunrise, sunsets. Like these are some plans. So same like that. So when it comes to design, when it comes to software development or any product development, you just need to know a proper design. You should need to have a proper design so that you can make you can go in a flow while developing things. So while developing some software, you might come across some issues like you'll start one thing, but straight away you just jump into some other things. You can't straight up. Many people used to do this mistake, like without any proper plan, they just straight away jump into design. This is where like design is more important. So that is why we are coming to this session. So as this is a series, a developer 101 is a series. We just want to start with design so that you can, when you're developing any projects for your final year or even for your career or anything, so you should first of all start with the design. So yeah, let's start. So how to design application. So there are a lot of ways that you can develop an application. As Teja told, we can even develop something with Photoshop, Illustrator, and even you can use Paint, like MS Paint and anything. That's your wish. But when you want to get a real time or like realistic UI of an application that you want to animate it or anything, there are some tools that you can use. So we just going to see some tools now. So yeah, what tools you can use. So let me show you. Okay, okay. So Am I audible, guys? Like, if you like find anything, hello voice, let me know. Okay, anyways. So let me show you some tools that we can that we okay. Okay, sorry, sir. So do you want me to repeat it again? Think- Or else I can just jump into the tools. Okay, okay, fine. Now, guys, is it audible? Yes. Okay. Okay, cool. We can just jump into the UI tools that we are going to use today. Yeah. So, so today, if you guys are having your laptop open, you can follow me what we are going to do now. So, first thing, what I'm going to open is Adobe XD. This is what we are going to use it today. So, this is a software which we are going to use today. So, so make sure you install it. It's free product, so you can install it now. It just takes a few time to install it. So you can just go in, create an account, you can just install it. Do you want me to wait? You can let me know so that I can wait for some time until you install it. So there is also another tool. This is actually your like installing in your local machine itself. But if you don't want to install anything, you have like have proper. If you don't have any proper internet connection, you can go with Figma. This is a tool where you can design prototype in the browser itself. No need to download any software. So this is a tool. Even this is free. You can use it for free, and you just need to sign up. There is no much difference between XD and Figma. Only difference is XD we are just going to use it locally, but when it comes to Figma, you are using in browser. So you can go ahead with anything you want. Both are simple to develop. That's why we are going to use it today. So I'll be teaching you I'll be going through everything so that we can develop our own design for Instagram. So today we'll be like designing an Instagram application. So have you guys installed it, or you can let me know if you have installed it? Or so once you install the software will look like this. Adobe XD. So here's the software. This is how it look like. So even our poster, even poster for this session, it was created by this software only. So I can even show you that how it is designed. So this is how it like. So I hope this is similar, like familiar to you guys. You might have seen this somewhere. Okay. I don't know, guys. Some issues is there with the mic. It's not audible. So, guys, you can say something so that I can. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Okay.
Akash, you are totally audible. So just high ramp your voice so that we all can be so interactive with you. Okay. So
Okay.
let's start in this way, like how the things like why do we need to really choose Adobe for the designing and what really makes that difference? You know, there are a lot of tools outside for designing, and why I really have this question. You know, when we go with some sort of designing tools, I just mentioned earlier like Photoshop and Illustrator and all like a lot of tools out there, and Adobe has a specific tool for designing these prototypes as well, like XD. What really makes the difference, and what are the advantages that you could get from, you know, you can be in that way, so people also can be so interactive, they can unmute themselves and be on it. Just say bold.
Yeah, got it. So there is no much difference between Adobe and Adobe products and other things. The only thing is this Adobe is well known by many people, and no, it's very much user friendly and it can be used by like anyone. So that is one of the reason why I going for this one. Otherwise, even we can go with Figma. There's no difference. There's nothing like no, there's no difference between XD and Figma. Um, for me, the most used and one of the best tools I would say is XD and Figma. That is well known by many designers. Um, just because of the user-friendly platform where you can just make design in a shorter period of time. Okay, fine. Yeah. So that is why we are going with this. Since I don't want to design something in the browser, I'm just going for this one. Okay, so fine. So that is one of the reasons I'm going with HD today. So yeah, just because one of the problems with going with Figma is you need active internet connection to work on that. If you don't have a proper internet connection, it will be it will be not possible to work online in the browser, and you need to wait till the internet comes to work on your project. And, that will be a mess, right? So that is one of the reasons like I'm going with HD. So as you can see, even this is stored in the cloud, and and it is also having a feature to save it in your local machine, but it says premium. It is possible only with the premium version of this software. But I don't know if there's a bug in this at Adobe XD where because we can save it even though if it is showing that error, so there will be no problem to save it in your local machine. So without any further talk, let me just start with the UI. So I hope you all might have installed Adobe XD. So you can just jump into the design for. So I hope you all got an idea about why we are using XD today. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me now in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, Akash, I have this question with you. When we say that Adobe XD is specifically for prototyping and designing that applications or websites designs, then how possibly you're doing a poster in it? So how is that related?
So one of the reasons why I'm going for poster, like to design a poster in Adobe XD, is because, as I said before, it's very much user friendly. It is having like what do I say, all features in it, whereas we can just drop and drag and drop it over here. No need to design everything from first and make things worse. Like it's very much time reducing process. So if I want to design the same in Photoshop, it might have taken much time for that to develop, like design this poster. Since I was designing it here in XD, it just took less time to design it. So though even I
Okay,
didn't
so
feel
Adobe
yeah,
XD can also be used as pretty good editing tool. I mean, poster designing tools over the prototyping tools as well. So that's the key takeaway.
yes, yes, exactly. So yeah. So one more option here is the best part of this kind of designing tools is why don't we? You might have thinking like why don't we use Photoshop to design and Illustrator design the UI? But in those softwares, there's an option, there's a feature lacking in it. So that one feature is here in this software, which is called prototype. This is where the design comes to life. So all sort of animations and interaction with the UI all happens here in the prototype section. So we'll be seeing this soon. So let me start. Like I'll be creating a new file. So today we're just going to develop, design a mobile UI. So I just go with, just give me a name now. Which I should go for. I think I can go with iPhone 6. for XR. Okay, I just go with this. Okay, fine. So there are some shortcuts for like where you can use it. So if the if my artboard, this is called artboard. So this thing is called like artboard. So this is for iPhone XR, as you can see on top. So this is the artboard where you're going to design something. So yeah, okay. So if it is on top, something like this out of your view, you can just use Control and 0 so that it comes to a middle, just the default view where you can see in a close view. So that is one of the things that you can put down. And so here we have no idea what we are going to do. We don't know how the Instagram look like. So for reference, let me just download some Instagram now, UI for now. So this is a website called Dribble. I used to, I use it many times because this is where you can get some inspiration. So as you can see, a lot of designers made some designs over here. Like if you are developing some UI or any courses or anything, you are designing something, you can like refer to this for to get some inspiration. So you can refer to this and you can make some similar designs or even better than that. So that is one of the reasons I come here to do something. So let me go and search for Instagram. Let's go for mobile. Yeah, let me search for some UI. No, love that. So I think we can go with this one. So yeah, I just save images, store. So let me import this, just drag and drop it over here. So as you can see, okay, okay, I'm in a wrong. I just imported this. Let me close this one. Let me import it here. So I'm just going to use this as a reference, and this is one of the things like this is what we are going to design today. So, is it visible for you guys? So this is not the real UI of Instagram. Anyways, to give you an idea how to design the UI, we're just going to do this one. But still, I'll be letting you know it's how to design even the real UI from like right now. So let me go with this first. Okay, first thing is we just go on with the icon what we have over here. So we are just going to do this. So for this is in square shape, right? So we just go for the square shape over here, which we are seeing this, but it says as rectangle, but we're just going to make a square right now. It's always a good practice when like creating a rectangle on top of the output. It's always a good thing because if you want to make changes to this one, like artboard itself, it'll be pretty much useful. So we're just creating on top of it. We just adjust the size of this. So till now, do you guys have any doubts? So you can let me know. So make that text big. Would you say which text so that I can? You can
I
unmute,
think the
guys.
screen is kind of little small phone, so you can zoom it and show to us for a better view.
Yes, yes. Sure. Is it visible now? Like,
That's okay.
yeah. Okay. Good. So yeah. So we have created a base artboard right now. So on top of this, we just going to. So when we are editing something, when we are doing something, there are chances that this artboard will be moving. So in that case, we're just going to lock this. So there's a lock button over here. So or you can use Control L to lock it. So it's locked now. So as you can see, the icon is shown over here. So let me go. The base color of this Instagram is dark gray color, right? So let me do it. So when it comes to changing the color for the locked layer, it's not possible. Like you can't change the color. As you can see, these are all disabled right now. The settings are disabled just because it has been locked. So if it is locked, you won't be able to make any changes to that layer. So we just unlock it again, and using this fill tool, I mean color picker tool, we're just going to pick the color from it. So can you see this? So we're just going to pick using this pick color picker tool, and we are going to. So yeah, as you can see, it is being filled with the dark gray color. So let me go with it. Okay, can you tell me in which application? Check out it. Okay, fine. Actually, this is Adobe XD. So yeah, Adobe XD. Thank you guys. So yeah, let us go with this first icon which you're seeing on top. So this one, Instagram icon. So let me go there and design it first. So let me use the rectangle tool over here. So I'm just going to take and making the square. So as you can see, but this is having a sharp edges, and it's not even similar to that, right? So what we are going to do is we're just going to make it transparent first. So to do that, we're just going to disable this fill color. When we disable it, we just seeing the border of that, which is also known as stroke, but here it's written as border. But even the border is very thin, so we can change the border size over here. um, I just want to make sure this is visible for you guys. If it is visible, let me know. If it is not visible, let me know. Is it visible? Um, Anyone? Yes. Okay. Cool. So I just increase the border size. So let me go with 3, since this is a small design. I think this looks perfect. So and I'll also change the color, border color. Since it is a gray color, I'm just going with white. So let me move this. So let me change this. So as you can see, this is not much, R, right? It is same like a paint or we are doing in MS Paint, right? So you'll be seeing this one. There's nothing difference between like many, other things. It'd be very useful to design, application over here. So, so as I said before, this is having a sharp edges. So we're just going to make it round edges. So to do that, you will see this dot over here on all four edges, right? I hope it is visible for you guys. Might be seeing this so in all corners. So you can even change the, if you just drag it in, you can see that the edges are turning to round edges. The sharp edges are turning to round edges. So even you can change it over here. Just click this and going over here under a blend mode, you can see this option, different radius for each corner. So if you click that, you will see these options, everything. Even like if you don't want to, uh, why we are seeing this four numbers is because there are four corners, there are four edges. If you want to change like manually for each edges, for example, if I want to put only 20 on one edge, and other things as 0, like if I want to make something like this, I can do it manually over. But if I want to give the same number to everything, I can use this first option, same radius for all grounds. So let me change this. So I think uh, 5, no, I think we can go with 10. Yeah, 10 would be a perfect number. So as you can see, we have created a something like this, similar to that. So let me create a circle as it is over here in the middle. Yeah, you can see this, right? So, and I'll also make it transparent, and the border size as 3, the color to white. I think 2 is for this border, right? Yeah, now it looks good, right? So we have created the icon almost. So let me create this dot. So I just remove this border for this. No need of border. We can just use the color over here since we are just creating a dot. And yeah, I just increase the size, and it's done. So we have created our own logo. Sometimes many people used to import like download logos from online. Um, like if you want to save time, you can just download PNG images, PNG file, like image of icon. But here we are just going for like we are designing on our own. So this is like tricky part over here to design this. There's, yeah, as you can see, there's no option for this. There's a triangle, but it doesn't look similar, right? It's not looking similar to this. So in that case, we are going to do it manually. We are going to do this on a layout. So for this, let's create a rectangle. Okay. So let me increase the size of the border, like 2. Yeah. Um, let me make this transparent and the color to white. Still, it doesn't look like an arrow, right? So what we are going to do is just going to double click on this. When we double click, when we double click, uh, let me show you the difference. So when we double click, this kind of this border radius uh, dot will go off, and you will see different one. You just see this corner like edges dot. So these things will help you to change the shape. So let me change it. So I just drag this lower right to here. As you can see, it is changing the whole shape of a rectangle, and bring this over here. I'm just going to adjust this, and middle bottom left to over here. So let me bring this here. So is it looking similar to that? So if you have any doubts in this, you can let me know. So I can repeat it again. Yes. So do you want to repeat? Do you want me to repeat it again? Okay, I just do it here again. So I create a rectangle. Simple. It is like I'm creating a rectangle. Yes. Okay. I'm creating a rectangle. So I'm increasing the border radius to 3 or 2. I think 2 will be fine. Yeah. And making transparent by disabling the fill color over here. So I'm just going to change the shape by double click on the border. When I do that, the uh, border radius option will go off. Instead, you just see this corner edges. So when I like, since I want to make an upper arrow, like upper right arrow, so I'm just going to bring this. I'm going to click the bottom right and bring this over here, and the bottom left to middle. Is it clear now? And I can just adjust it if everything to make it even more similar to that. So is it not easy to do that? Even you guys can do it, right? It's not that difficult, do this on your own. Yeah. So let me go with other things. So I just need to add this line, and that you can do with this line tool. I can just create a line and turn the color to white, change the size to 2. Now looks perfect. And let me change the orientation. So same thing. Like for line tools, there's no orientation. So what you're going to do is double click and do the same again. Adjust size. But as you can see, this is having a sharp, edges everywhere, which doesn't look nice, right? So just select this both. Okay, I just select this first, the arrow, and yeah. So let me select the arrow first. Then I'm just going for this option. It says rounded edges. I'm just going for both things so that it will create a round edge on everywhere. But this is optional. If you want the sharp edge, you can go with that. Otherwise, you can go with the round edges. So I just go with this itself. And for this side. So for line, there's a different. As you can see, for line, these two things are the same. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Okay, Hemant, I think you have to mute your mic. Okay, not. So since this is a line, uh, once mic is, can somebody mute it? Okay. Yeah, cool. So for line, we're just going to use this. These two things are disabled, so we just have this one versus the line. Now, as you can see, this thing has changed it to round corner, round edges. So yeah, this is done. So now we're just going for the stories. over here. This is actually simple, but there's a tricky part because I tell you why. So here we are going to create a circle, simple circle. Um,
Can you guys hear me? Hello? If you can, just let me know.
This conference will now be
Yes.
recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, Teja, you're audible. I guess Akash went offline. There's some internet issue.
yeah, there was an internet issue.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
Back
Sorry,
now.
guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Teja, can you give me access to share screen?
Yeah, sorry, I'm doing it now. Okay. So guys, how is it going? So let me know and keep some, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and have some interaction with Akash. Any questions?
So now we are just focusing on design, right?
Yes. So
Where
this
will
is a
we be
start.
implementing them
So
finally, or
before,
something like that?
I think you missed the first thing, I guess. So before
I can.
implementing a software, before implementing a software, like when you go for implementation, if you want to develop some software, you can't straight away jump into develop without having a proper plan of developing it, right? When you don't have any idea about anything, like where this option is going to come, where this logo, where this animation is going to be happening, when you don't have any idea, uh, it'll be impossible, to develop something, right? So that is one of the reasons why we are going with design first, so that you will be having a proper plan, then you can go with it. So um, when you have a proper design, it will reduce the time, because you can't while development you can't implement all the features and try out things. That will take a lot of time if you have a proper design. So you are having a plan beforehand itself, so that you just tried everything uh, before itself in design itself, and you're going for implementation. While development, if you don't have a design and straight away jump into development, you have to try out everything. You have to write all the codes. You have to try, like, writing codes, deleting it, writing code, deleting it. You have to try everything, right? So that is one of the reasons why we are starting with design. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I got the point.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, let me continue. So now we are going with the story. So here I created a circle. Let me remove this border. So since it doesn't need a border over here, so I'm just going to keep it over here. But there's no option to keep an image, right? There's no option to put an image over here. So what we can do in this case, in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find an image in my system. For example, so yeah, my image is over here. So okay, fine. So I'm just going to drag this instead of pasting it somewhere else. I'm just going to paste on top of this. I'm just going to put on top of this. When I put that, it will fill it automatically. So as you can see, I didn't do anything. I didn't do any settings, nothing. I just dragged and put it on top of the circle. When I put that, it automatically fills with my image. So how easy it is, right? So I can just move it anywhere, nothing to do. So yeah, done. So you have any doubts on this? You can ask me. No doubts. Okay, fine. So yeah. So other things we can do the same, but over here we are having some colors over here, right? But we can't do this in the border. So this is something called gradient. This is something called gradient on top of this because it's changing from one color to different color in a single layer itself. So how we can do that? So let me show you how. Like, let me do the same thing. So first thing is I create a circle again. So there's a there's a disadvantage like in this because we can't we can just do the linear gradient only in the solid full section. So in only in full session we are having a feature to put the gradient, but in border, as you can see, this is a border, right? This is done in the border, not in the image itself. So, but in the border, we don't have any option like that. So what we are going to do? So we are going to do something similar to the border radius. Border. So to do that, I'm going to create a single circle, remove the border from here. So I'm just going to remove the border and just having the full color, like middle thing layer. So nothing else. I don't have the border. So I'm going to create another circle which is smaller than this. So I'm just going to copy and paste. For the differentiation, I just change its color and reduce the size of it. Just going to press shift and reducing the size and keeping it in the middle. When I do that, so it is similar to border, right? It is something like creating a border layer, right? So I think this is too thick. I'm just going to increase the middle layer a little bit so that it looks similar to that. Okay, this is fine, but it's not transparent in the middle, right? If I change this to transparent, I'm just seeing this white color, but I don't want it. I want this. I want to see the background color, right? So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select both layers. Sorry, I'm just going to select both layers, white and black, white, sorry, white and black. To select both layers, I can either drag like this. Let me first lock this because even this is moving. Lock the background image. Okay, so do that. Uh, I'm just going to drag like this so that it will select both. Otherwise, I can select something like first background color, pressing control. If I click the second layer, shift, not control, back background layer and press shift and select this layer, secondary layer. I will be able to select both layers now. So once both layers are selected, what I'm going to do is, okay, Amir, just make it quick as much as possible so that you will be able to get an idea how to design something at least at the end of the day. So once this both is selected, I'm just going to use this subtract option on top right. Is it visible for you guys?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. Once I select that, as you can see, the middle layer is subtracted. It is disappeared. Now this is transparent, as you can see here, right? So now what I can do is I can go to fill layer, make it to linear gradient, and change the colors over here. And secondary color to yellow or something else. So now you can see the gradient is created, right? So this is how we can do the gradients like this. So now to do similar to this, I'm just going to drag this image, increase the size, the radius. Yeah. Now, as you can see, these both are now almost like similar, right? So I'm having this color like for this gradient to create something similar gradient. I'm having color for time being. Like I'm not doing that. So like, since we are running out of time, I'm just not going for that. So these are the colors, like as you can see here, which will help you to create something, a gradient, something like this, a real Instagram color. So I just go for it. So one more thing is, um, when it comes to app, like app development, one of the most important thing is bring it to life. So let me do that. First I just created UI first, as like this, a feed. So it's created using a rectangle tool. So first thing, what is the user image? I just take this here. Let me change the size. So if you have any doubts, you can feel free to ask me, guys, so I can answer them. So I'm going to write my username. I forgot my username. So what is my username, guys? Do you remember? Anyone? Yes. Okay. Okay, it's creating something for me. I don't know. Anyways, this is my username. I'm just going to change the font to Roboto. Okay, I think it's not available over here. So I just go with the product science, not Ital. Regular. Fine. Some username, change the size. Should be better. and I just create these dots by using this circle, filling it with some colors, taking it that border, copying, paste it, move it, and I'm just using arrow keys to move this so that it'll be, if you use the mouse, it will go somewhere else. But still, there are some guides like this where you can refer to that so that it can. But yeah. So let me add some image. Let me put this. Yeah. So and I go for the like and like art and other shapes, sharing the shapes like this. So this is one of the trickiest part that you can do. So I'll show you how to do this. So same like what we have done for that icon. So either you can use PNG or you can do something like this. So I'm going to make this transparent and increasing the border size to 2. So as you can see, I'm just adjusting this same size. Okay, it doesn't look like an art, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the orientation like this. And now I'm going to change the design. So by double click, just going to click this here. Sorry. As I said, this is pretty much a tricky part that you can do. Instead, you can go with the the PNG images itself. So you might be wondering how this guy is doing like this, right? So what I'm doing over here is, so as I said before, I'm just double clicking and I'm finding a place where I can, make the curves. So I think this part, this layer, I mean this place, it will be perfect to create the curve, something like that. So I'm going to click over there, which will create a dot over here to create a dot. But how to change the orientation? To do that, click double click again on top of that dot. When you do that, you will see some lines like this, right? So when you turn that, it's creating a curve. When you turn this, doing this again. Yeah, when I double click this and when I turn this, it's creating a curve, right? And I can move this to change the, I can move this thing to change, adjust the size, I mean shapes. Now you can see it's not similar to art, but still, let me bring this.
Hello. Just sorry to interrupt, but I don't know whether you guys can able to hear the session. Is it audible?
What you are saying is audible, but I think the screen is stuck in Akash Anna's lab.
Oh, okay, okay. I guess there is some internet issues is happening with that side, probably, maybe because some other external factors. All right, so I guess he'll be joining back maybe because of the internet issues he couldn't able to get into this time. Yeah, probably. In the meantime, yeah, we can have some open discussions. Maybe we should wind up in 10 minutes. Okay, so probably we'll be winding up in 10 minutes. Yeah, I think Akash is back. Yeah. Akash is back totally. Okay. Okay, Akash, I request you to walk through it as soon as possible. Okay. So as we are running out of time, so as soon as possible. That's it.
So guys, sorry about that. Something is going on with the internet connection. It's weird. So am I audible, guys?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
So
totally audible now.
I can see
Yeah.
something like you can use two triangles, which is the easier way. Of course, you can. So it can go with anything, whichever you find easy. But this is one of the simplest thing. Like if you have some, patience, and if you have some time, you can go with this. Otherwise, you can go with two triangles also. I mean, the rectangles also. So anything is fine, man. Fine, man. So that's your wish. So here, on the trickiest part is we have to do this shape over here, right? Some kind of corner, like sharp corner. Do that, you can do the same thing by double click and bring this down, and we got it, right? It's that simple, but sometimes it will be tricky. Not every time we'll be getting it. So in that case, you can go with two shapes. I'm going to create, I use the triangle for that, and I'm creating it. So let me change this upside down, and when I bring this here and increase the border size to 2, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these both layers, both shapes, and I'm going to uh, press this intersect. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. I'm using add. So when I add it, I'll be getting similar, something like this, but it's not that good, right? So you can go with anything if you want. So sometimes you can just double click and you can adjust the shape like this. Change the orientation, and you got it. So this is how you can create this. And did I miss anything? Okay, adding functionality to this, right? So most of the things when it comes to creating a mobile UI, you need to add a scroll feature, right? So most of the time, many people don't use that. They just make a static thing, and they'll be creating a lot of artboards. In that case, if you want to make it as a scrollable one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the artboard. I'm going to click the main artboard, not the one which I created. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to click this. So under artboards, so what I just did is I just went on top of this, okay, on all the components, coming back and selecting the artboard. And now the artboard is selected. Artboard is fully selected, as you can see. And I'm going to drag this down, increasing the size of the artboard. And I drag this down, it is similar like something. It will create another layer, another kind of artboard. So now I'm going to add the same thing. what we have done over here. So I just copy everything. So and I just copy this and paste, and I'm just going to bring this over. So I'm using black and white just to differentiate. So now when I just uh, run this on top like this using this desktop preview, as you can see, now this is I'm able to scroll, right? Okay. So without any like wasting time, I just go with the design the UI. So, yeah, just copy whatever I have done.
Akash, you're not audible. Can you actually hear me?
Hello. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you, man.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I just fit everything over here. Bring this thing, story. So I need to block this first. On that. Okay. Copy paste. And just using the arrow key just to move this thing. And the last one. The last one is okay. So later I just put that with the images. Let me move screen. It's the same color as that. Changing that color. So this almost looks similar. like we haven't done yet. So this looks almost similar to this, right? So okay, I'm not speaking like just now I started. Sorry about that. So this is very dark. So let me change this light. So let me change the light color. This will be fine. Now you'll be able to see the post, the feed, whatever. So let me just go with other things also, like the shapes which you saw earlier. So I just complete this thing. Yeah, we almost got it, right? So let me take this. Paste it. Yeah. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me, guys, so that I can clear it up. Any doubts in making like this? You want to see any
Yeah,
animation?
Akash. So
Yes.
nothing more doubts, I guess. Can you hear me, Akash?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. 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 It is.
Yes, okay. So, I mean, we are actually running out of time. So, if there are any things that you want to make it clear, you can make it done as quick as possible. So, we've been through a lot. We created like the front page of it, and
Okay.
you
Okay.
added like
Fine.
how we duplicate the things.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting that. So in this case, you guys saw how to scroll, how to make it scroll. Now the thing is transitions, right? So you need to go to the other page. So in this case, you're just going to copy this same to and create a new artboard. In that case, you can use this artboard button to create new one. Once that is clicked, you can press it anywhere to create a new artboard. I'm just going to press it over here. Sorry. Yeah, press it over here and you can create how many ever you want and it will create the same size of our codes. And I'm coming over here again and I'm going to copy all the things for time being. So I'm just going to save, so copy this and paste it over. So I created something like this. Now to go from this layer to next layer, we need something right. In that case, there's no basic interaction between these both. There's no relationship between these two layers, right? In that case, we are jumping into prototype on top that you can see over here. Once you see the prototype, what I'm going to do is um, what it does, so when you click on something like this, the icons, you will see this arrow mark, right? Is it visible for you guys? I hope it is visible. So once you see this arrow mark, you can just drag this and you'll see, okay, sorry, you just need to drag this and you'll see something like this and put it on the uh, next layer, next artboard. When you do that, it will create a relationship between two artboards. Can you see this? I hope you guys can see this. So let me fill this color also. Let me go there to design so that fill this with pink. Like this. Yeah, and something like that. So in the prototype, I created a relationship. So there's a relationship between two artboards right now. So now what will happen is if I press that button, there some kind of things will go on that you can do whatever you want. I just show you now. So I create something like a shape. So I will go to design. I'm going to create the same thing. Just going to bring this here just to show you how it is going to work. Make this bigger just to show something like a shape. Let's change this color also and the border to 5. So yeah.
I think you can actually fill it with the white color and reduce the opacity just like that.
Any reasons why? Like I'm
So
not
when we
getting
like it, you get that feel, right? Yeah, when we give a like, it comes up like on top of it.
yeah. Okay, but for time being I'm just doing this because we are on other times.
Yeah. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
so yeah. Okay, okay, fine. So now we have created this, but there should be some transitions, right? So what we are going to do is we're just going to click on this arrow over here. When I click that, sorry. So here you can see the interactions. So first thing is what we are going to do. We are going to press this. So you can see something like tap, drag, keys, and voice. So here we are going, since we are going to just press it, we are going to use tap. Otherwise, if you are going to drag something like dragging the image or something like that, then use drag. So since we are going to use tap, click, I'm selecting tap, and what kind of transition we need. So in this case, can do something like previous. Okay, we are not scrolling, we are not overlaying, so we are just going to give auto animate. So it will do automatic. So 2, and here we are going to choose ease in and out. So what we'll do is okay, in this case I think we can go with, I can show everything one by one. So I just select first is out, and select a time to 0 points. Okay, I just go with slower time, and yeah. So when I run this and click that, can you see this animation? But this is not how it will look like in you know in Instagram. But for now, I just have to do something like this. Okay, so yeah, I just change the things now. So let me go with snap. So it will create a something like a bounce effect, a small bounce effect, and change the time to 0.4 seconds. And when I click this, yeah, did you see that? I'll do it again. So yeah, so this is how you just need to create an animation in Adobe XD. There's nothing else. You just need to create a relationship. You're just going to create a connection between two layers, two artboards, and you can even bring this back by just clicking using another buttons like I'm just going to use this as a button and bring this to the previous artboard. Now when I run this, done, and when I click this, my username, it's going down. I hope this helps, right? So do you have any doubts on this? Do you want me to repeat it again to do the design like animations? You can even experiment with your system, like with your own design. You can let me go. No worries. You can unmute yourself. Anyone?
Okay, so I don't think much because I don't see
Okay.
the chats coming up.
So
So
okay, fine.
let me,
I just do another
yeah,
one.
let me,
Okay, fine. Yeah.
so
Yeah, man.
let me actually come, yeah, come to a little conclusion here. So what happens here all the time? We have a lot of things. See, we have this sort of edits and all the the blinks and effects and animation. We can do it everywhere. Okay, no matter here, we can do it everywhere. But the whole intention of using Adobe XD here is you can see the transactions coming up, right? When you hit that heart, when you hit that like or the heart symbol there, you actually get to another intent and you can see how it transforms, right? Imagine you thought of building an application which actually looked like Swiggy, or it may be your own desired application. So you can actually do the same, mimicking the stuff. Even you don't need to write any code here, you don't need to worry about that whole animation. Adobe XD takes care. So what the thing that you get benefited from here is all about, you can get to know how you feel your product when you have in your hands, so that once you have this whole product, I mean, which are all the design and the activities and the button on clicks, everything are done. You can give the entire thing to a developer. Okay, so the entire application prototype, this is called a prototype. So we did a prototype of the basic 1.0 or 0.1 version of Instagram. Okay, so once we are done with this prototype, I'm going to give this prototype to one of the developers. Okay, one of the among developers, and I'm going to get paid for that. So I'll give for them, and they go through this whole process. They see the features, they see the activities, they see what are the requirements for this specific application, and then they look for what are the things that they need to do, right? So they gather around the things and they start building it. So this is the process. They design it, they prototype it, and they go for the development. So we are done with the prototype phase and the designing stuff. So we're gonna do even more for the next version, just like that. As pretty for these are the basic fundamental things what actually required, and then you guys are with the developer for the next further process. So yeah, so it's pretty much things what we are done today. And Akash, you wanna share anything? Please go ahead.
Nothing, man. I think we have seen all the essential things that we need to design an application. So I hope this helps you guys. I think I've shown everything. So if you need anything, you can ask now so that I can show it to you. Like if I had missed anything here, I think I've showed everything. Whatever the things are there now. Adobe XD. So there are some things that you can even use over here in design, like adding shadows to it, shadow to the elements that will give even more better, UI like look to that, like 3D look for the design. So these are the things that you can go and explore in this software like Adobe XD. So anything else, guys? Let me know so that I can help you all. That. So did I miss anything? Teja, you want to know anything?
Not so specifically, but if anyone have any question, please feel free to do that here because we are end of the session.
Yeah.
Any
And
questions?
one more thing, guys. Now we have done the design phase. So in the upcoming sessions, we'll be seeing how to choose the tools to develop the own whole application itself. So in like as of now, you just saw these things, and in next few days, you just need to create your own design for your own application. So wait for the next event and next session, and you just need to come up with your own design so that you can showcase it to us, and we will see it, we'll review it, and help you even to make it even more better. So I think, yeah, I think this is the end. Teja, can go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So that's all to the end of this today's session. So what Akash is trying to say here is, so almost we are done with the prototyping and the design phase. So we can also have further sessions building the Instagram clone in real time. So maybe we will be looking into the time constraints for the next time, because the prototyping itself took a really good time. So maybe for the next time for developing it, we could divide into the phases, and then we can go for what are the maybe we can have like a set of instruction sessions, like going for the basic directly all the way from that to the development session. So just like that, we can have it as well. So that's what Akash actually means. So for the further updates, keep checking LinkedIn and Instagram pages. So that's where we actually express whatever the ideas we have. Sometimes we express through WhatsApp messages. All these all happen. So look up and heads up for the next session as well. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much. Hope you had learned at least something end of the day, right? So you might have been like from the morning. So anything at least you had learned. So it's a big thing. So thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to reach us out of Instagram or emails or LinkedIn, wherever if possible. That's it. So with that, we'll end the session. Yeah, Akash, over to you.
Yeah, guys, thank you for attending for today's session. Like, thank you so much. Like, still, guys, if you have anything to ask, you feel free to ask us in Instagram or can mail us anytime. So we'll be there to help you guys. So thank you all. Can end this. Bye, guys. And guys, one more thing, don't forget to watch our video YouTube. I think Teja, you can show. Shall we guys show this to them now?
Uh, Nothing like that. So I am sharing a link. Alok had already shared it. Thank you, Alok.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm
Oh,
just sharing
really?
you a link. That's it. Yeah, that is our YouTube video. It's on regarding the initiatives that we used to do earlier during the as a long ago we used to have college, right? I hope you remember we used to have college. So during that time we used to do such things. So why don't we put it into a single 1 minute constraint of the all initiative, most of the initiatives that we have been through. So that was a simple video. You can check that out in the comment box. I just mentioned the YouTube URL, what we were doing during the couple of days, just mentioning all this stuff. Feel free to watch it. So just like that, yeah. Okay, remember that you have college for the further maybe after 20 days. Yeah. Okay, that's it for this session, and maybe for the next time we look your participation coming back again. Okay. Okay, thank you guys. I'm ending up the session. Thank you so much.